and welcome to the Refresh Podcast. My name is Toby and I am super excited
Oh my god.
to be with you guys today. We are here on behalf of New Studio and this has been a very long time coming. We are really excited, honestly. So I'm here with my friends Okwe and Leke.
Hello.
I will give them time to introduce themselves better. So we'll be
Yeah.
co-hosting this podcast. We want to give out a special shout out to our big boss, Mr. Busayo. Thank
Mr.
you so
Busayo.
much for
Salute,
this
sir.
opportunity. We love you so much, sir. And also
One
a
love.
special shout out to Muse Studios. Woo! Thank
Don't
you
forget
so
the sound
much. Thank you,
engineer
thank you,
too.
thank you.
Yeah.
So let me allow them to introduce themselves to you guys. So they usually say ladies first. I don't know.
Of course,
Just
it's
allow
supposed to
them.
be
Do your
ladies
thing.
first.
Come.
No. What do you expect them to say?
Ladies first.
It's
actually.
always-
Ladies
Yeah.
first.
That's
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, so
But when it comes to trouble,
No, we
Men
don't look
first,
for trouble.
This
all
like
right.
We
no
don't do
problem.
trouble.
You have the floor. You have the floor.
All right.
Anyways, I am Opeyemi Olugbemi. Many call me Adasa.
Mm.
You know, it's from the biblical name Esther. That's the Hebrew name. So I'm into many things. I'm into music, journalism, and a whole lot more. Yeah, and I'm a lover of God, amongst many other things. Yeah.
I'm not the only musician here. Me too, I'm a musician. You know, you guys, my people know me as Toby Joe. It's not only you that have a dance.
As in, look at that introduction, flawless. Like I give it to
What's
you,
so
but
flawless
wait-
about the
wait-
introduction?
Wait, Oma. Wait, Oma.
Don't mind me.
All right now. I think it's my turn now. So my name is Olafison Olamileke. So many call me Ola or Leke for short. I'm a musician and I'm
That's what, like,
into
all
car
musicians,
sales.
yeah.
I'm a car dealer also. So
Cards.
You know.
Okay, Kadila. Oh, yeah,
Nigeria.
now.
excuse me.
Hello,
Wow,
Nigeria.
wow. Since
Ah.
morning.
I want to ask a question. What is it with Yoruba people and calling their names in full? I said this guy's name is Leke, and he's not telling my name is Alame Leke. Like what?
No,
What is it?
that's a short version of the name. There's a meaning. It has a meaning now.
As in there's a
Oluwa-
meaning at
Oluwamileke.
Olamileke.
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 Yoruba people.
No.
As in it has to be full. You have to
It
be.
just has to be.
Me too, I'm Yoruba. My name is Oluwatobi, but I can't remember the last time I said my name
Is
that long.
Wait,
like,
is it Oluwatobi Loba Oluwatobi?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't
Hey,
know. I
is
just
this
know my
guy
name
Yoruba
is
boy?
Can
Oluwatobi.
you imagine this guy?
All right.
Okay.
So you guys, happy New Year to you.
Happy
We are
Happy New
super
Year.
excited for 2024.
Happy New Year,
And
everyone.
we are trusting God that this year will be far better than last year was,
Yes,
right?
so-
Yes, exactly.
And for this gist, today's gist is something that affects everybody. New Year resolution.
Yeah.
New Year. Look. So it's today you hear me saying, my year resolution is this, so my year resolution is this, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to stop doing this.
Exactly.
But then what happens when the year continues? Are you still going to? Let me even ask you, do you even remember your last year's New Year resolution?
Mm.
Do you even remember it? So since today is like the first day of 2024, we decided that this first episode of the Fresh Podcast should be about New Year resolutions. But then
Mhm.
first, what inspired this podcast and what is this podcast all about? So the Refresh Podcast is not just like every other podcast, yeah? It's a podcast that is aiming to build a community.
Exactly.
We want to
Yeah.
build a community of like-minded individuals. You know, we understand that life has its uncertainties, it has its difficulties and all of that, especially for
Highs and
Christians.
lows.
Yes.
So this podcast is a platform that Muse Studios put together. By the way, you should check out Muse Studios. Very awesome.
Oh my
It's
god.
actually
Awesome.
beautiful.
No.
They have
Spacious.
the state of the art galleries and all the equipments for
Yeah.
your musical productions. You should check them
Top
out.
notch.
In fact, right now we are shooting this
Yes.
podcast at Muse
New
Studios.
Studios.
Yes.
So check them out. So, like I was saying, this podcast is a platform for people to get direction for their lives. You need navigation for your life. This podcast was created with you in mind.
Exactly.
Whatever confusion you have about life, this podcast was created with you in mind. We hope to provide that compass for you to navigate through your relationships, through your career, to to just build your faith, build your spirit, build your life. To just have somewhere to always come to whenever it
Yeah.
feels like you're beginning to face confusion in
A
life.
well to
Yeah.
So
draw
it is
from.
our hope and our
The
desire
threshold.
that
Yeah.
these goals and these visions will be achieved and that God will help you so much, even as you stay tuned
Mhm.
to the Refresh podcast. So
Yeah.
let's go fully into the gist of the day. Let me allow the Hadassah herself, the only madam of this show today, to
telling you.
kickstart this gist.
Ah.
So you have the floor, Hadassah.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about New Year's resolutions. So I'd like to ask, what's New Year resolutions? What do you think New Year resolutions is? I mean, let me throw it to the house. New Year resolutions. What is New Year resolutions to
New
you?
Year resolution. Well, I think it's a way to be smarter than the previous year.
Let's be smarter than the previous.
I like
Wow.
that.
Well, for me, I think that New Year resolutions are, like firm decisions. You're trying to make firm decisions, firm plans to do things in a much more better way. So that's
Exactly.
what I think resolutions are.
Yes.
So when you're talking about New Year resolutions, I want to think that you are making those plans, those decisions with the year in view. So thank you.
I also feel like New Year resolutions are promises to yourself to actually
Exactly.
do things differently.
Mm,
Some might be realistic, some might be unrealistic.
mm.
You know, for some people, their New Year resolutions might be, oh, I need to eat the gym this year. I need to do this. I need to do that. And by the end of January, you see that. I mean,
Last year.
some people will be like, oh, I want to cut down on carbonated drinks. Oh, I want to achieve this particular weight. I want to lose 20 kg in 2 weeks. And by the end of January, you're seeing them, with a burger or pounded yam, eating pounded yam at 10 p.m. How do you want to
I
achieve
don't understand.
that? What?
Honestly, this you just said, now you just shook one capital table that I'm sitting on.
Oh.
Last year, I decided that I was going to hit the gym. To be very honest, I even
Interesting.
bought. Stop now. I bought the gear and everything. I even bought
For
new pair
real?
of shoes. I'm telling you, bought basketball shorts.
Uh-uh.
I was like, I'm going to start. I didn't even go. I didn't go even once. Whenever my brother asked me, Egbon, say you will not go. Be like, I'm very busy. Work. What time? What time do I have and all of that? So I know what you're
I think I
talking
did
about.
better
I've
than
been there.
you. I think I did better than you because I
Ah.
promised myself I was going to eat the gym also. So why I said I did better than you because I went to the gym actually,
But you know, finished.
but I went to make
You didn't
inquiries.
Just inquiry. Some even registered.
That
They
was-
paid for it, but they just went there one
I
day.
just want
You
to.
once.
Just
You know
once.
easy.
And they would have
When you
paid
gonna
like
carry iron like this, you're about to
20,000
spend
for
it.
a month or
telling you.
20,000 for 2 weeks.
I'm
And
telling you, and that's
just
just
one
it.
day, and that's just wasted money
You understand?
on
That's
some
just
New
it.
Year resolutions.
So are you
just
guys not trying to say that somebody like me, I didn't have a firm decision?
I don't know. Even spiritually, some might say, oh, this year I want to achieve this spiritual height. I want to be on this pedestal. I want to be a
Yeah.
prayer warrior.
Yeah.
And 2 months down the line, you're not even going for videos. Your prayer, your personal prayer time is nothing to
Going for
write home
videos.
about.
I mean, they are only Sunday Bible openers.
Or online church goers.
Online church goers.
My
mean-
God.
So
You see, we all need God's help, honestly, because imagine that last year went that way, and then we now make some more resolutions this year,
Mhm.
and then we now end the year without achieving any of
No,
those things.
It's
It
so
will be a
sad.
capital shame.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good one that Refresh Podcast wants to help us, know
Reset
the right
and
things
refresh.
to do.
exactly.
Like, it's important, and I think this is really coming at the very right time.
It's
Yeah.
coming
For somebody like me, although I'm a host on this podcast, last year, I'll be very honest. There are a lot of things that I set out to do that I didn't do. I didn't do those things. So, but then, what do you guys think are some of the reasons why people don't usually achieve their resolutions?
Those
Like,
resolutions.
what are some of those reasons?
I think those resolutions is more like a spur of the moment, and they're trying
It's
to,
of the moment.
and more like they're trying to do what their friends, like peer pressure. Oh, because my friend said, or
that's a
because
good idea.
my daddy
That's
said this, or because me too, I want to have a resolution to it's something or do something by the end of the year. So it's more
Wow.
like a spur of the moment thing, something
So it's
that is
like
expected,
like peer pressure,
like something that is
people are
expected
doing
every
it.
December
Yes.
31st, every November and January 1st. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Um,
Spur of the
Yeah, and I
moment.
think the way it's being presented, like New Year resolution, so you have it in your head, like, okay, New Year resolution, what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve in the new year and all of that? You just have to like draw some things and
Just
be
want to
like, okay,
feel
yes,
among.
you just want to feel among
so
like
it's be like you're
me too. I
serious to your
have
life.
you understand, me
Yes.
too. I have a New Year
Actually.
resolution. You understand, so that the people who have that sense of responsibility
Uh-huh.
for yourself, you will just want to create that sense of
Yeah.
responsibility for
But
yourself.
generally, but I don't actually think it's a bad thing for
No,
you
it's
to
not bad.
want to be serious to your life.
No, it's not actually
It's
bad.
No,
not
it's not
bad.
But
bad.
most of the New Year
It's not bad.
resolutions
But are you
don't.
willing to pay the price to be serious? To
you need
actually
to
be
pay the price
serious.
to
You
be
understand?
On
So those things
seriousness,
comes
yes.
with a price to you. They come with
Uh-huh.
sacrifices. You understand? So it's not just about the words.
Yeah.
Most people carry the words on their head. New Year resolution. I have a New Year resolution too. Just write it down and
Uh-huh.
they hang it there, and that's all.
See, and guys,
Without having an
as this our
accountability
You
convo
partner.
is going,
understand?
as our convo is going, we are hoping that you are reminiscing. You are thinking
Yeah.
about the last year.
But
What
what-
were things that you intended to do and then you ended up not doing them?
Exactly.
Please share them with us. We
Share
want
it
to
though.
know.
We want to know.
Put them in the comment section. We want to know some of these
Maybe
things.
it's
Oh
to have
my
to
God.
fly on eagle's wings.
Like,
Unrealistic goals.
honestly, like some of the things that
Like
you planned.
literally eagle's
And
wings.
why do you think you didn't achieve some of those things? I think another reason why people will not really achieve something they set out to do is because they had just too many resolutions. When you have
yes,
too many
That's it.
resolutions,
that's
you
true.
want to do this one, you 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 want to do this one. And then some of them may not even be going in line with one another.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like the resolutions will this one is going to the north, this one is going to the south, this one is going to the east and the west, and then you're in the middle. You want to do this one, it's now be conflicting with this one,
With the other
and then
one,
at the end of the day, you're not able to even achieve
achieve
anyone.
anyone. Exactly.
I think-
It's really sad.
I think New Year resolutions, our goals, is supposed to align with our purpose. If it
Yeah.
doesn't align with our purpose, I mean, we wouldn't be able to achieve it.
Exactly.
Things might come and you might not be able to achieve those goals.
So your goals should align with your purpose.
Yeah,
Your purpose for life.
yes.
What you want to achieve.
Yes, you know the saying, man proposes, God
God
yeah.
disposes,
So by the
yes.
time we write down those goals and God is looking at it like,
Hmm.
this is not the plan that I have for you now.
Exactly.
You know, and yeah.
I think a little example to that. I lived with a guy that, as a musician, himself was a musician, so he wanted to learn all the instruments at once. He wanted to learn the drums, he wanted to learn the keyboard, he wanted to learn the guitar, he wanted to learn the saxophone,
Wow.
all at the same
At
time.
the same time.
And I just looked at him and I was like, guy, pick one instrument now, focus on it, and then build yourself on that particular one.
Mhm.
He said no, he wanted to. So I just gave him the name Jack of all trades, Master of none.
Master of
That
none.
was I
Master
gave him
of
that
none.
name.
Master of none.
And today he does not know any instrument.
Hmm.
He
Wow.
can't play any instrument.
Wow.
Like he can't play any.
I think this brings me to my very next point about why people don't achieve their new Year resolutions. I think lack of specificality.
Hmm.
Something is not specific.
Exactly.
You need your resolutions to be specific. Like your friend now, who wanted to learn several things at the same time. His goal was too ambiguous.
Exactly.
It's just too big.
Yeah.
You need your goals to be specific. I know people who are multi-instrumentalists,
Yes.
but they didn't learn all those instruments at the same time.
At the same
Maybe they
time.
started from the drums, then they went to the keyboard. Then they probably didn't even have the intention to learn all the instruments. It just so happens
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
so
Yes,
you
yeah.
need your
You're very
goals to
right.
be very
Yeah, very
specific.
right.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
say specific, in achieving your goals, you need to be smart about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Smart.
think
You need to be
I work-
smart about it.
Yeah. Smart.
Yes,
The
yes.
SMART acronym is think specific,
Specific, yes.
measurable.
Yes.
Your goals must be
attainable.
attainable,
and realistic.
realistic, and
time
time
oriented.
oriented. Yeah.
Mm.
So in achieving goals, you have to be smart about it.
You have to be smart.
Smart
So,
about it.
smart.
The acronym SMART.
Smart. That's the specific.
Yeah, specific.
It needs to be what?
Measurable.
Measurable.
Measurable. Something that
Measurable.
What do you mean by measurable? What does that mean? When you say a resolution is measurable, what does it mean?
Um,
Realistic. A realistic goal.
More realistic, and then you have to like it's
And
like it's time
a time
bound.
frame.
Yes, it's time bound.
Hmm.
It's just
You
like
know,
you want to learn a new language. You say that, oh, in 2 months I must have learned five
five
languages.
languages.
It's
And
not
That's not
realistic. It's not
measurable. It's
measurable.
not.
But if you say that, oh, in 2 months I must have learned to a certain level a new language, not like an expert in it, but you must have learned a new language in 2 months. A new language in 2 months. Yeah, that's realistic
Well, life
and
happens.
measurable.
Life
yes,
happens. For example, let me share something that happened to me last year. I broke my leg last year, very early in the year, sometime around April. I think was it the first day or the second day of April? I broke my leg. I was coming back from church and then I had an accident and broke my leg. And then I was bedridden for about 3 months.
Wow.
I could do nothing. So
Hey.
you can imagine me breaking my leg very early on in the year. And then I think it was maybe April or March. Now add 3 months to that. So let's say April. So April, May, June. That's like almost half of the year gone.
Mm-hmm.
So there were things that I wanted to do
within that
the
period
first
of
half
time.
of the year.
Yes, yes.
And then life happened. I couldn't do them anymore. So that could be another reason why somebody may not be able to achieve their
Achieve
goals.
their goals.
But then it doesn't stop you from achieving your goals because you need to be able to adapt to change.
yes.
When something happens, when a change happens, how much of adaptability do you have as a person?
Hmm.
Are you adaptable? For example,
A new president.
Nigeria got more difficult. Let me help us in this country.
Amen. Oh.
Nigeria got more difficult towards the second half
Yeah.
of last year. So
Yeah.
now imagine me now. I broke my leg the first half. I was bedridden for the first half. And then the second half,
Hmm.
Nigeria got more expensive. Things that we're supposed to be able to do with 1,000 naira, you now need like 5K to be able to do those
Yeah,
things.
yes, right.
So, will I be able to adapt to that kind of change? That's another reason why people may not be able to achieve their
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
Year resolutions.
Yeah.
You had resolutions at the beginning of the year, and then as the year continued, something happened, and then that
cut
thing
short,
just
yeah.
just changed, just
Yeah.
changed the direction of
Yeah.
everything. But then you still have that goal.
Mm-hmm.
You need to still be able to achieve that goal. Can you guys please share with me how can I adapt to change? Because the thing really affected me last year. I won't lie, it affected me last year, and I know a lot of persons were affected by that thing. I know that a lot of businesses actually closed down last year
Yes,
because
because of
this thing. It was so bad, guys. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who can help? I beg. I
the
beg.
Hmm.
okay. I think what one needs to do in that kind of situation is visit your
Revisit the.
outline goals
Yeah.
again.
Mhm.
You know, you wrote them down.
Mhm.
Visit them.
We didn't even talk about writing these things down. No.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to
Yes.
write down your goals.
Exactly.
I
We
think
need
there's
to
somewhere in
write
the
them
Bible that
down.
actually talks about that.
Yeah.
You need to write it down.
Like,
Make your goal,
make make the
your
vision
vision
plain and
plain.
write
Write
it
them
down
down.
so that the person who will see the vision can run with it, something
Yeah.
like that.
So in achieving like how to set our goals, realistic
Yes.
goals.
Yes.
Number one is to write it down,
Mm.
and we must always cultivate a growth mindset.
Mm.
Before you even write it down, cultivate a growth mindset that, oh, this this path that I'm going to, or what I'm about to write down, I must achieve it.
Exactly,
You're having
yes.
success at the back of your mind.
You need to have success
Regardless that
mindset.
anything might happen, but you're optimistic about it. You write it down. You make your goals smart, like we said before. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic and time oriented. You work your goals into your future plans, and it has to align with God's purpose for your life. Like I said before, it has to align. And achieving your goal doesn't depend on will. Most of the time, you need to spend your money, you need to spend your time. Most of the time, it's going. You
Your
need
energy.
to even learn, relearn,
Yes.
and all of that. Yeah, that's how to set realistic goals.
Okay,
Have
so
it at your subconscious that you need to learn, like relearn. You need to set your time, and you need to spend money in achieving those goals.
I think Licky, you were trying to share something
Yes.
around what's the question I want to ask
How
again?
to adapt to
Yeah, how to adapt
changes when
to,
changes come. So
like,
what
you were
I
talking about
what
writing it down.
yes,
Wow, that's
yes,
actually
what I believe we can do is revisit those goals that you've written down.
you need to reevaluate.
You need to reevaluate, re-strategize it. Like I have a pointer that says evaluate and readjust your goals if need be.
Wow.
So that applies to when changes come, you know, just revisit it and evaluate, see the ones you can achieve at that point in time where you
Yeah.
are.
Mm, I think there's something about planning. Yeah, when you're planning, you first you lay down your objectives,
Yes.
and then after laying out your objectives, then you have to look at your resources.
Yes.
These are my resources that I have. How
Can I
can I
work
use
with
them
it?
to achieve these
This
objectives that I have?
objective.
So when you're planning out your resolutions, I believe you for it to be attainable, you have to also look within your 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 resources,
Capacity.
your capacity. Then, like I've said, from time to time you need to reevaluate because you don't have to wait until change has come.
Yeah.
I think that's where the problem will come.
Yes.
You need to be able to look at the trends, how are things happening.
Yes.
Before change will occur,
Flow, yeah.
you need to be able to, like reevaluate. So it's something that you need to always go back in to check, reevaluate, and all of that. And actually very good. Very good. I think that was something I wasn't really doing last year. I wasn't really reevaluating.
Yeah.
I know I wrote down, see me, there were, I used to write down different jotters.
Actually, me too. I have different jotters.
Yes. No.
I don't
So
remember
at the
things
end
I
of
used to
the
write
day,
down.
I try to forget the goals
I think
that I
that-
wrote down in a particular time, and
I'm
might not be
really
able
sorry.
to.
So I think that is what is common, especially in this Nigeria.
This part of the
In this
world.
part of the world, that is what is common. Once you write things down, you tend not to revisit.
Hmm.
You
Right.
tend not to go back.
And then you
Yeah,
can't
so-
remember because there's
So
so
you
many things
can't
happening
remember.
to you every
You understand?
day.
So when life comes or when life happens, you find it difficult to change. You find it difficult to adjust. You find it difficult to adapt. You understand? So I think to always reevaluate, revisit those written down what do we call it now? Goals and everything is something we need to exercise every now and then, every month, every week. Check it. So those things gives you they energize your drive to push further, to go on, to go ahead. You understand?
Let me suggest something. Celebrate your small wins.
Yes, thank you. Oh, man
Celebrate
of
your
God.
small wins.
Oh.
Honestly,
And let me add,
yeah.
never compare yourselves to other people, your goals. We see
exactly.
somebody has already achieved their goal in 2 months, already making waves. And you are there trying to compare. Oh, my goals, I've not even done anything. I've not gone enough. Don't you compare your goals because
yeah.
we have different goals in life.
Honestly, I like to celebrate my small wins because it helps me stay motivated.
Yes.
If I wanted to do something big and I don't end up doing it, I will look, was I able to do this one? And then I celebrate it. I celebrate because when you celebrate your small wins, it helps you stay grateful.
I'm telling you.
It helps you stay grateful. It helps you stay motivated. And then it keeps you going.
Yeah.
If you don't celebrate your small wins, you just feel like you've not really achieved anything in your life.
Yes.
And then you may end up becoming depressed. And then if you are depressed, the devil can take advantage of that depression
Yeah.
and push you into suicide.
Now waiting them they look for
Good.
that
Honestly.
now.
Stress you out.
An example of what you just said now was when I was growing up, I lived with a couple of people, church members here, friends there. So at some point in my life, I always tell myself that I will have my own space. Like, even if it's just one room, I will have my own space. So eventually, I think around 2021, I was with a friend then. I was staying with a friend throughout that year. So towards August, he gave me what I can call a quit notice. What I should call a quit
Oh,
notice,
God.
but in a very, well packaged way. So, and that time I had no money. I had nothing to, say I want to go and get a place of my own.
Yeah.
But I just thank God because I had to do some runnings here and there and there. And eventually I got a place,
Mm-hmm.
a room somewhere at Iwo Road. So I was like, so I could achieve this within a short
Short period of
period
time.
of time. So it felt like I had won a lottery that time when I got my space and
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I had my, my mattress, I had the wardrobe, I had everything within a very short period
Short
of
period
time.
of
And I
time.
was so elated and so excited that yes,
Mm-hmm.
finally I've
Could
gotten my
achieve
room,
it.
I've gotten my
Honestly,
space.
it's really
You
important. And then if you can, if when maybe when you're faced with a difficulty, for example, maybe you're now faced with the difficulty of paying your rent, for the fact that you can remember that at a point in time you were able to gather money together to get that space, you would be motivated to realize that
Mm-hmm.
I can
I
still
can
pay my
Yeah.
rent or I can get another
do more,
space.
yes.
So it's
Yes,
really important. It's really
yes,
important.
that's it.
We are really grateful that you guys have stayed this long with
Mm-hmm.
us, and we are so excited about how this first episode, like,
Yeah.
we didn't expect so much, but
Yeah.
I think we have been able to learn a lot. I personally have been
Yes.
able to learn a lot
Mm.
with this very first episode. Honestly, I've learned a lot. And in summary, as we are rounding off, because
Yes.
our time is almost up, as we're rounding off, we just want to remind you of some of the very strong points
Yeah.
that has been raised on this show today.
Yes.
Because we want that you won't forget that you set out at the beginning of this year to achieve some of these goals.
Mm-hmm.
You set out new year resolutions, and maybe something now happens and then you now
Oh,
forget.
really?
We don't want you to forget. So we want to remind you again.
Mm-hmm.
In summary, remember when we started, somebody said you have to write down your goals.
Yeah.
Yes. Write them
Make
down.
it plain.
Make it plain. Write
Yes.
them down. They should be attainable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then it was smart.
I think
should be
Adasa
smart.
talked
Make
about
them smart.
Smart, the smart
Yes.
acronym.
Make them smart. Make
Specific,
them specific,
specific,
measurable,
measurable,
make it
attainable,
realistic,
attainable, realistic,
realistic, and
and
then
time
time bound.
oriented.
So that time bound means that you should make sure that you give yourself a time limit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next 3
Time
months, I want to do
Mm.
this.
Yes.
Don't just leave it like
Or
that.
in the next
Yes.
5
Maybe
years.
I want to jackpot, for example. don't just say I want to jackpot. Maybe give yourself maybe like 6 7 months, and then it helps you gather resources together and all of that.
Yes.
And then I remember I wrote down these things. I hope that you wrote them down too. Somebody said that I think that was me. I said
Okay.
celebrate your small wins.
Yes. Yes.
Celebrate your small wins. And then Leke shared with us how
Was able to
he was
get
able to gather money to get his own space at a
apartment, yeah.
particular time where it was really difficult. And then we also said it will help you stay motivated.
Yes.
We believe that you have actually been blessed.
Mm.
We believe you have been blessed.
Hallelujah. Have been blessed.
We believe you have been blessed today.
Yes,
And we are
sir.
looking forward to the next episode.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The next
sir.
episode, we're going to be talking about planning.
Okay.
The next episode, we're going to be talking about planning, how to actually plan the year.
Mm.
Today we have talked about your New Year resolutions and all. We are going to talk about planning the year on the next episode. Please make sure you share this program so that
Yes.
many other people can be blessed.
Mhm.
And
Sure.
please drop down your comments.
Yes,
We
sir.
want to hear how you were able to achieve your resolutions from last year and the
The importance of
the-
setting your
the importance,
goals.
how what you did to
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
achieve those goals. And we will be really excited to be with you again on the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special shout out one more time to our big boss, Mr. Sayo. Special shout out to Muse
Muse
Studios.
Studios.
We love you guys
We love
Yeah,
so
we
much.
love you.
Until we come here again, same time next week. Or next time.
Next time.
I am
See you on
Toby,
the next
and this
episode.
is
Adasa.
that is
Allah
Leke.
Mileke.
Yes.
Love you all.
Have a
See you
wonderful
on the
day.
next
Guys.
episode.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Oh, we didn't digress.